Hello, I'm Andy and welcome to my kitchen. And today I'm going to show you what I do with the discard from my sourdough starter. I'm going to make these wonderful crackers and you can use any flavours. They come out perfect every time and everyone loves them. So let's crack on. Excuse the pun. Firstly, I'm going to introduce you to my sourdough starter, Bob 2. And Bob 2's very hungry, so we're going to feed Bob and then we're going to use that discard to make the wonderful crackers. Right, so now we've got our starter. We're just stirring our starter and we're going to pour 40 grams of starter into a clean Pyrex bowl or jug. Perfect. We're then going to reset our scales and pour in 120 grams of filtered water. Perfect. Give this a good mix. I'd say 10, 15 seconds, give her a squeak. And it should be like milk. Done. We then add 120 grams of strong white flour. And I give this a mix for a good 30 seconds. And it should be the consistency of paste, like a really sort of wet paste. And I'm going to show you the consistency that I've got here. It's like that pasty consistency, but we give it a good mix, 30 seconds, and that's ready to be poured into our clean sourdough bowl or jar and either popped into the fridge, or if you're using it within that day or two, then out on the counter. We're just going to pop our sourdough starter to one side for the moment. And we're going to concentrate on what's left. Now, this is the discard. We don't need this anymore, and we can use this in so many other bakes. But today we're doing the crackers. So in this bowl, I have 50 grams of unsalted butter, softened. So that's what I've got in this bowl. I do reset the scales, and then I'll pour in the discard. Now, normally there's about 200 grams when I've done this before. And yes, there is 198, just a bit over 210. Fantastic. We're going to clean this now, and then we're going to pop the sourdough starter back into the pot and ready to prove. Now we're going to just move this to one side, our cracker recipe, and we're going to bring in the sourdough starter. Now this sourdough starter is going back into this clean tub I use, and you can see that consistency is really quite pasty, thick, and we can use a spatula to get every bit out, and that goes straight in. Perfect. Oh, a bit more. There that goes. Beautiful. Lid goes on. Now, what I do is I have two rubber bands. One goes round the bottom, just so I know where it is. And it should double in size within 6 to 8 hours. And if it doubles in size within 6 to 8 hours, you know that sourdough starter is ready and you can make a loaf or bake, whatever you want to use. That is a very active starter. I like to let it go to its peak and then start dropping when you see the slide marks come down. So when it gets to its peak, this is when I use the second rubber band. So I know the level and then I can watch the slide marks down. That's when the starter is starting to be hungry now. It's metabolized, so it's now ready. For me, the best time to use the sourdough starter. We're going to give this a good mix, the butter and the sourdough starter. And we just want to get that butter and the sourdough discard all mixed in and incorporated really well. And this is, I mean, it's so simple. That's not took no effort at all. Some tomato puree. There's about a tablespoon, I'd say, left in there. So that's used up. I'm going to be using a tablespoon of basil, dry basil, just levelled. Same with the smoked paprika. If you get a little bit extra, it doesn't matter. It's all about your taste, your flavours, and what you enjoy. Sometimes I've just done it with salt and pepper, just plain sourdough crackers, and they're wonderful. So we've got all the ingredients into the bowl, and now we're just going to give it a good old mix. Just making sure we get all them ingredients incorporated. The smell is amazing. Right, on a lined baking tray, we now want to just pour out on and evenly spread this across the baking tray. Now you want to try and get consistency in the level so it all bakes at the same time. You will get some crispy edges, but to be honest, they're the bits that I love. Now what I do is I get an offset spatula just to smooth out, just like so. And you want to try and get a nice square, so it just makes it easier to portion when coming to serve. You can see the shine on that, and it's that easy. So if you want to make different shapes, you're more than welcome to. Now I'm going to pop this into the oven. For the full bake time will be 25 minutes, but for the first 10 minutes, I will be baking at 220, so quite hot. And then I'll take out after 10 minutes, and I'm going to then individually make my incisions into the cracker mix and then pop it back into the oven for its final bake. Because if you make the incisions now, it makes it so much easier to get them uniform cracker shape, that what we're after. Right, so we're out the oven, first 10 minutes, and now all I'm going to do is section off the crackers into the sizes that I want. Now, if you want to take more time over this, you can. If you're like me, I just want to get them done in the oven, no fuss, and then in the jar for people to enjoy. So I will section these off roughly about there. Back in the oven. Now we reduce that oven down to 150 for another 15 minutes. Right, they've just finished baking. And as you can see, the score marks we made earlier on have helped us massively. So all we have to do now is, on the baking tray, I would just run back over them. Now I want to let these cool on the tray. So I've got a wire rack underneath, and we just follow over our guidelines. You can hear the crunch. The smell is amazing. 3 simple ingredients used with our discard and a little bit of butter. And while it's still warm, it makes it so much easier to get them cuts made. And they may still appear to be a little soft, but as they cool, they will stiffen up to a perfect cracker. So we just let them cool down on that tray. Once they're cooled, put them on a plate and enjoy. Thank you for watching my video. This has been Andy, and don't forget, like, subscribe and follow us here on our YouTube channel at The Ideal Home Show. From the 26th to the 30th of November, I will be at the Cake and Bake Show doing a live demo, and you can grab your tickets now. Just get onto the website and I'll see you there. Take care. Ta-da.